But this year, I was like, you know what? This is the year I'm going to do it this year. Yo, I didn't touch it. I did not touch it until quite literally September. I'm not joking with you.
Okay, welcome. Oh my God, y'all. Welcome to Get In Girl.
Hey girl, hi. Welcome to another episode of the Get In Girl podcast. Y'all, I had to literally record this thing again because I was not recording. I was yapping for 20 minutes and I realized the video wasn't even going. So that's how much I care about y'all. That's how much I care about actually giving you the content, because doing this again in the same sitting. Anyway, today we're going to talk about goals. And I really feel like October is such a great time to be talking about goals because, again, like this is the time of the year when people are starting to look back at the goals that they had for this year, and they're starting to look forward to the goals that they have for next year, which is going to be 2026. Can you imagine we're going to be in 2026? At one moment in time, I still remember 2020, and it's already 6 years after that. Wild. But that's not what we're talking about today. We're talking about goals today, and goals in the lens of micro goals, because I know big goals can feel great. They can feel exciting. They can feel really audacious. But the problem with big goals is that it often feels like you're just on the edge of a cliff staring down, being like, I'm supposed to do what? And you never really move forward. You never really make any progress. So today we're going to fix that. Let's get into it. Now, I'm not saying that big goals are bad. I am a huge advocate for audacious goals. When I set my goals at the start of the year, instead of doing SMART goals with the R being realistic, I actually take that R, and this is something I saw on Instagram, by the way. We take that R and we actually turn it into a W to make sure that our goals are wild AF. I am a huge advocate for audacious goals. But the problem comes when you kind of just leave your goals as audacious and you're like, okay, you know what? This year I'm going to save 5K. That's a great goal. That's a nice goal. But then your brain's kind of being like, okay, you're like looking at your bank account being like, I have $20 in there and I'm supposed to get it to 5K. How? That's scary. That, you know what that reminds me of? That reminds me of when I used to take swimming lessons. And the first time we kind of had to go into the deep end, and they were like, okay, well, go ahead, jump on in. And I was looking down being like, I can't even see the bottom of the pool, y'all. And you want me to do what? Like, that's literally how looking at a big, audacious, scary goal looks. So that's what we're going to fix today. And also something I want to mention is that science actually backs me up, because your brain feels better about goals that you can actually achieve versus when you're terrified of your goals. And research from PwC shows that when people set regular short-term goals, they are 34% more likely to actually achieve said goals. So if this whole year you set a really big goal and you feel like you've not really made any progress towards it, do not give up hope, my friend. There is still time to make a dent in your goal. There's still time to achieve your goal. We just need to learn to break it down. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So first, I already kind of talked about the micro goals, but also another component that's really important is actually acknowledging, because you might be like, okay, you know what? I actually did, break my 5K goal into, let's say, like 1K per quarter or something. But I'm still kind of struggling to achieve it. You might just be missing out on the reward component of it, because your brain likes to feel good. It likes to feel like you're making progress. It likes to feel that you're winning. So if you're not stopping to acknowledge the win, if you're not stopping to be like, okay, good job, me. And a reward doesn't need to be like, okay, like treat yourself to something, like do whatever. It doesn't have to be anything big. Even something as simple as having a to-do list of all the things that you need to do, and then checking something off when you're done with it, literally just triggers your brain like, oh, like I said I was going to do this thing and I did it. And if you watched my video last week, we talked about confidence and how your brain wants to know that you're capable, and how confidence in your abilities literally equals to confidence in yourself. So this is literally a double-edged sword, y'all. Like it can literally go both ways. So it's really important to really acknowledge that, okay, like this is the progress that I'm making, and your brain, again, does not know the difference between a big win or a small win. It just knows that you are winning. Let me also say though, I don't want you to use this episode on micro goals as an excuse for laziness. I said it. Do not fight the messenger, y'all. I'm just being very honest with you. Like, a lot of people are like, oh yeah, I'm setting a micro goal. I'm only gonna work out like 5 minutes per day. When you know that you can do more, but you're kind of just using that as an excuse. If you're just starting out, if you're new to fitness and you're like, okay, I'm only gonna do like a 5-minute workout, a 7-minute workout. You know what? I'm short on time. You don't even have to be certain. If you're like, I'm short on time, I'm only gonna do a 5-minute, a 7-minute workout. Good and fine. A shorter workout is better than nothing, 100%. But if you have more time, if you have more ability, like if you've been working out for some time, you still need to remember that you need to be challenging yourself, right? Like, think about if like, you're, I don't know, like playing sports or something. I'm not a sports girly. Like, I may butcher this analogy, but anyway, let's say you're playing sports and like the person that's, like an extra level, they've been playing the sports for like 10 years, and you pit them against someone that's literally just started playing the sport. Like, they're just gonna be like, is this a joke? Like, am I a joke to you? Like, this is like, it's just not gonna work out. Like, it's gonna feel the same way for you if you set a tiny baby goal for yourself that you can just accomplish like that. It's not gonna be as much of a challenge. So you need to make sure that while the goal is small enough to make it easy to consume, think about when you're eating food. If you're shoveling chunks of food into your mouth, you're not going to digest that food very well. You're not going to chew it very well. You might pass out. That's why you break the food down. Be like, okay, I'm only going to take a little bite at a time. So you want it to be a little bite at a time, but you still want the little bite to actually be challenging enough for you. So the example that I have is, let's say, or first of all, like, let's say you want to save, let's say go for like 1K. You're like, okay, I want to save 1K. If you're looking at the 1K goal, like we said in the beginning, and you're not taking any progress, what about breaking that down into, let's say, like $50 per month, or like $50 per whatever? And then that way it's kind of easier for your brain to comprehend, like, okay, like I usually save 20, let's try to save 50. Versus just being like, okay, like I'm just going to save 5K and that's just big and audacious. But back to the example that I have for myself, I've been working on a period cramps products literally since like university, and I keep doing it on and off because life is just life, in like things just happen, and I'm just like, it just always goes on the back burner. But this year I was like, you know what, this is the year I'm gonna do it this year. Yo, I didn't touch it. I did not touch it until quite literally September. I'm not joking with you. I'm not even playing with you. I did not touch this thing until September. And it's not that I'm not interested in doing it. It's not that like, this is not something I want to do. But again, it was too vague. It was too big. It was too out there for me. So what I did, and we're going to get into the plan for this week. What I did, I kind of broke it down, which I'm going to take you through. And even the first thing, I was like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to reach out to suppliers. How hard could it be to just reach out to suppliers? We're like, oh, hey, it's me again. Like, can we get this back up again? And even that was still too scary for me. So what did I do? I'm like, okay, you know what? It's still too scary. Let us just find people. Like, we don't even need to reach out to people yet. Like, let's just find people and just like bookmark them. I found people, I bookmarked them. Of course, I was still in the app. I was like, you know what? While I'm here, that's literally what happens. While I'm here, I'm like, you know what? I might as well just like move on to this next and reach out to people. And now it's actually on its way to me. I'm really excited. I'm going to share more with y'all on Instagram as I kind of, get the product and I kind of get started with all the good stuff. But now let's get into the plan for you. If you're like, okay, well, that sounds good. I still have a lot of goals that I have not accomplished for this year. Help me. I'm here to help you. The first thing I want you to do is to start by figuring out what your micro goals are. So I want you to take that one goal that you've been avoiding. Let's say you've been trying to apply for jobs. You've been trying to like write an essay. You have been trying to clean your entire house. You've been trying to, like me, like start a business, or you've been trying to save 1K and you're not really making any progress on it. That's how you know that your goal is too big. Take that goal and I want you to break it down. This sounds easy, but stay with me. I want you to break it down until you can literally break it down no more. So even me, like I already broken mine down, and number one was find a supplier. But even the find a supplier was like, oh, or even the reach out to a supplier was like, oh, I don't really want it. Like, I don't know how to explain. I just wasn't making any progress on it. So I still broke that one down into just bookmark suppliers. We're not even going to reach out to them yet. Let's just bookmark them. And then we can kind of go from there. So literally break down your big, hairy goal until it can be broken down no more. Like there's no other minute thing you can like take out from it. And you can literally do these things by like, if you're like, okay, well, how do I know if it can no longer be broken down? Literally writing out the steps it takes you to do something is you just breaking it down. If there's no more step, then you have successfully broken it down completely. And then the second thing I want you to do is pick one micro goal that you're going to do this week. Notice how I didn't say next week, or how I did not say 2 weeks from now. I quite literally said, pick one goal that you're going to do this week. Because again, we're not trying to keep postponing, girl. Like postponing has not been working out for you. Like procrastination is the reason why we're having this conversation, and that's okay. But we got to get moving. We got to get that momentum. We got to, we got to pick up the pace. So choose one goal that you're going to do this week, or choose one step that you're going to do this week and do it. How you're going to do it, I want you to treat it like an appointment and schedule it. Put it in your calendar. Put it on your board. Put it on your to-do list. Don't just be like, oh yeah, I'm going to do it like, this month. Girl, come on. One-on-one, you're not going to do it. You're not going to do it. That's literally, again, why we're having this conversation. You're not going to do it. If you're just like, yeah, I'm going to do this sometime in the future. Sometime in the future is not specific enough. You are never going to get it done. I'm so sorry. Do not shoot the messenger. Don't come for me. You're not going to get it done. How are you going to get it done? Actually scheduling it and put it in your calendar and be like, okay, you know what? Set a reminder if you have to. Sometimes I set little reminders being like, oh, do XYZ on Tuesday. Like, I don't know about you, but like when I have like a nail appointment or hair appointment or doctor's appointment, I put it in my calendar so that if someone else is like, oh, can you come do XYZ Tuesday at 3 p.m. I'm like, oh, Tuesday at 3 p.m. I'm actually busy. I have this other thing that I have going on. So give it a deadline, because again, we always need to be specific, y'all. If you're not specific with your goals, you're never gonna get it done. I don't know why I broke out a song. That's wild. Anyway, so treat it like an appointment and get it done. You know that law that literally says that the time that you give yourself to accomplish something is that's how long it actually takes you. So if you're like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna get it done this week I'm gonna get it done tomorrow. You're literally gonna figure out a way to get it done tomorrow. If you're like, I'm gonna get it done in like 3 weeks. Like I'm gonna give myself 3 weeks to get it done. It's going to take you all of 3 weeks. That is why when you have to like do an assignment the night before it's due, you do it. It's done like that. But if you give yourself like a whole month to get it done, you're just gonna be doing like here and there, like bits and pieces, and you're not going to make any progress. Because the whole purpose of setting micro goals is that your brain wants progress. It wants to feel like you're moving forward. It wants to feel like things are actually being done towards this goal. And the last thing that I want you to do is actually track it, right? Because it's not like, kind of like I said in the beginning, like if we want to make sure that dopamine is working in our favor, we need to make sure that we're tracking it. Because if you're just like, okay, well, yeah, I want to do this thing. I'm saving, let's say like $50 per month towards my 5K goal. And you don't even acknowledge that you're saying, like, you kind of just put it away and like, you're just like, meh. Like your brain doesn't really know what's going on. Like, right. Like you got to be like, okay, you know what? 500, like 5K and then $50 in May, check it off. And your brain's like, oh, good girl. Like give yourself a pat on the back, like check it off, give yourself a high five, like whatever you need to do to kind of send that message to your brain, like, okay, like this actually done. And you're like, oh, like this is, we're being serious about this. Okay, bet we're actually being serious about this. Like now we have to keep on going. And that's when you kind of start to kind of like chase that high. You kind of start to be like, okay, I need to keep up this momentum, because that's what we're trying to build, right? We're trying to build that progress. We're trying to build that momentum. I'm not saying set micro goals and, be like, I'm going to give myself the whole of the year to apply for one job. You are literally sabotaging yourself. Like, you're quite literally deceiving yourself, and you might as well not do anything. Straight up, right? So if you're like, okay, yes, I need to apply for a new job, but first I need to do my LinkedIn. Okay, you can be like, okay, let me do my bio, let me do the experience section, let me do this part, let me add in my certifications, and you can have those things into different steps as well. And if they're small enough steps and you have time, literally just do one thing every day. It doesn't even have to be like, okay, like do one thing every week. Because before I said, okay, choose one thing that you can take this week, which is still fair. If you're still trying to get back into the vibe of things, you're still trying to get back into the groove of things, you can absolutely do one thing this week. But once you're kind of starting to pick up the pace, you can do, okay, let me just do one thing every day in the length of like applying for jobs, for example, where it's like, okay, like I'm going to start with a small thing. If you're trying to save money, then, you can't really do, you could also do like, I'm going to save like $5 every day if, depending on how often you get paid. Or if you're like, okay, you know what, I'm good, I really want to clean out my house like this month. Yeah, okay, like every day I'm just going to do a drawer, or I'm just going to do a room, I'm just going to do the closet, and kind of just like keep building that momentum. And like, again, have a list of all the goals that you're trying to work towards, so that when you're done, you check everything off and you send that message to your brain being like, okay, well, good job, girl. We are capable. This is a double-edged sword, because like not only are you achieving your goals, you're building up trust in yourself. You're building up confidence in yourself, and confidence in your abilities is what helps you build up confidence in yourself. So you're literally achieving multiple, you're literally like improving different areas of your life with this one thing. And remember, like, this isn't about like doing everything today. Like, you don't have to do everything today. You don't have to do everything tomorrow. It's about building that consistency. It's about building that momentum. If you've been telling yourself like, okay, like I really want to do like workout like 3 times a week, and you're not really making any progress towards it, you can be like, okay, I'm going to start with like a 10-minute workout. 10-minute workout, you've kind of gotten comfortable with it. Let's build it to 15, 20, 30 until you kind of achieved your ultimate goal. We don't want to lose sight of the ultimate goal. We just want to break it down to make it more, or to make it easier to achieve. So this is not about doing everything at once. You don't have to climb the whole mountain tomorrow, right? It's about building that consistency and that momentum. And this is your challenge for this week. This is your Get In Girl challenge for this week. I want you to look at your list of all the steps that you need to take towards this, your goal that you want to get done by the end of the year, and that you have already set a date and a deadline for. I want you to take literally the first thing that you can do this week. Don't leave it. Don't keep procrastinating, y'all. Like, don't keep putting it off. Don't keep saying, I'll start tomorrow. You're never going to start. Literally, if you can do something today, do something today. Just so you can literally get going on it. And that momentum is going to come in your favor, because you're just going to want to keep going. So pick one thing that you can do this week, one thing that you can do today, and tag me on Instagram at by.nama so I can celebrate you. I can share some of mine as well that I'm working on, and we can just all keep each other accountable, like keep each other like going towards our goals. And if this episode helped, don't forget to share it with a friend who's also looking to achieve their goals before the year comes to an end, or even use this advice for the new year to make sure that they're on top of their goals for the new year. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow the podcast so you don't miss any episodes, and I will see you same place, same time on the Getting Girl podcast. As always, you can DM me if you have any questions, but I love you so much. Bye.